This is the AMX M4 MLE-54. It is a Tier 10 French collector heavy tank, a vehicle which features mobility, great frontal protection, high damage per shot, solid DPM, and very good pen. When you pair all these things together, it's no wonder why this is such a fun and enjoyable vehicle to drive. However, and rather unsurprising to me, a lot of people think that the slight changes this vehicle had is a nerf. I always do find it rather interesting when people see changes to a tank and they instantly say, oh, it's nerfed, rather than looking at the buffs that it's also received. Let's talk about what Wargaming did to this vehicle. First of all, it lost 30 damage per shot. Now, in the case of a vehicle like a Grille 15, losing damage per shot is very disappointing because of the fact you're a tank destroyer, you're relying on your camouflage values, and the fact that you have High Alpha to outtrade your opponents and back in the cover. But an AMX M4, this is a frontline heavy tank. This is a vehicle that you are going to be shooting opponents with hull down. So worrying about a slight alpha change doesn't really matter that much, especially when you forget to mention that the vehicle actually gained damage per minute. Wargaming reduced its reload to a point where it has more DPM now than it had previously. That also pairs with tungsten. A lot of people are disappointed the vehicle lost tungsten shells. But again, the vehicle gained about 100 damage per minute. So why would you be disappointed? I mean, technically the tank just got a flat DPM buff overall, so that you lose a consumable that was only lasting for about 20 seconds. The AMX M4 got more mobility. It actually accelerates about 10% faster on hard terrain and about 5% faster on medium terrain. While that's not insane, it still is better mobility. It also turns faster, and it kept all the other things, like sandbags. So you can get this vehicle up to 2,880 hit points if you really wanted to. And to finish it all off, the vehicle now has heat. The premium AP penetration with calibrated on was about 327 mils. And if you ran that with its effective normalization values, it was probably about 350 to 55 mils effective. It was not enough to cut through an E100 turret, especially if the player was running enhanced armor. And while premium AP is very nice, it definitely has downsides. This vehicle got a massive heat pen buff, now sitting at 363 mils, which is enough to butter through an E100 turret. It's enough to butter through really any frontal armor you'll be aiming at, like a Type 71, which the vehicle previously struggled to go up against. So, essentially, the AMX M4 got more penetration, it got more DPM, it got a faster reload for the exchange of slightly less damage per shot, and the vehicle got more mobility. I should also mention its upper plate got about 20 mils stronger. But, you know, clearly, the tank got nerfed. This first battle we'll be taking a look at is a replay from yesterday's live stream. Someone suggested the AMX M4, and whenever I see a suggestion for this tank, I almost always pick it because it's such a fun vehicle to mess around with. Its mobility is great. You can see here we're already going upwards of 38, 39 kilometers per hour. You can't find another tier 10 heavy with this much frontal protection that can also get up to a top speed of 45. I mean, the Type 71, when it was in testing, was able to go 50, which is kind of insane when you think about it. But obviously that was nerfed quite quickly. So we got shot by the Type 61, we can see the Grille, we can see the CS, but the major reason why I didn't want to head over towards that side of the map is because I have two teammates there already holding it, so it's much smarter to put my attention over here. So we're going to aim it on the hatch of the 777. And even with 363 mils of pen, we're not able to cut through. The 777 on flat ground is very easy to overmatch the hatch on the vehicle, but hull down, it's actually very surprisingly hard, as you can see. But 4005 shoots us, so we're able to just cut right through his armor for 450 damage. Alright, not too bad to start off with. We've gotten a shell out. And while we did bleed a little bit of health, the nice thing is, you have sandbags. I'm sitting at 2,800 HP. I mean, that's literally super heavy levels of hit points on a vehicle that really isn't a super heavy. I mean, yeah, it's big, but I wouldn't really say that it plays like a super heavy due to the way the armor is angled and everything. So we're going to aim in a nice heat shell on the side of that E100, and now we're going to plop on our adrenaline. This is where having that faster reload is much more beneficial than that higher alpha damage, because we can just keep popping and popping that E100. Unfortunately, it looks like the corner of our hull was just barely poking, and because of that, the E100 was able to cut through. We get a nice shot into the 777. I tried to block from my teammate, but Yeah, that just didn't go all too well for him. But thankfully, as I said, this tank reverses at 20, and you can see that right here. Reversing at 20 basically means that the enemy's not able to do much to me. And, 672 high explosive round. Yeah, one thing that did not get nerfed all too much is the damage the HE can do. You don't want to mess with it. We get a nice shell to the side of the 777 for 475, and again, we're using that crazy good reverse speed to back into cover. Again, while we have less alpha damage, the DPM is definitely an advantage here. Well, it would have been, but unfortunately that E100 rolled around the corner right when we tried to hit that 777, meaning that we actually hit the roof of the E100 and not the tank we were aiming at. But that's alright. You can see that increased heat pen allows us to cut right through the E100 turret ring, and now we're up to 3,200 damage, and that reverse speed allows us to back into cover before the E100 is able to shoot us. So we're going to reload again. Easy heat shell into the side of his turret, putting on our adrenaline now, once again, and this brawl's been going on for a while. I mean, basically since the start of this battle I've been shooting at this E100. We're going to load a heat shell, then we're going to angle out the hull. The thing about this tank is that it actually has a really well angled lower plate, and if you properly use it like I'm doing here, you can turn that lower plate red for the majority of people aiming at you. Now currently the E100 is not looking at me, so we snap a nice 475 roll into his tank, and he's gone. At this point we're up to 4,500 damage, and there are 3 vehicles left, a 4005, a 777, and a Grill 15. Now I have no clue where the Grill is, so right now we're just going to head over towards the 777 and 4005. Let's see if we can finish them off. Chonk, there you go, 4,670 damage, and we can see that the Grill now has been spotted with 360 hit points left. So, or 380. So that's exactly what I'm going to go for. You can get a good sense for the mobility this vehicle features now. We got a slight downhill boost, but look at that. We're already going upwards of 45. Even going uphill a little bit, still chilling at 41, 42. The mobility on this tank is insane for the armor that it features. It is just kind of ridiculous. So we roll over to the Grill, snap a shell into his vehicle, and just like that, we have dealt 5,054 damage. We had to put in a little bit of effort, but I can tell you for a fact that that was a super solid game, and there's not many other heavies I could have done that in. Probably a 60 TP would have been able to work well there due to the reverse speed, but I can't really say a lot of other heavies. Like, an E5's great and all, it's got the same gun depression as an AMX, it's got a little bit more DPM, it's got more penetration, it's got better accuracy. But the problem with the E5 is the fact that the vehicle doesn't have reverse speed, it only reverses at 12, and it doesn't feature super speed boost anymore. So, trying to get the E5 out of a position you've over-aggressed into is honestly basically impossible, and it would have made it very hard to work that spot well. But this tank, 2800 HP, paired with that reverse speed, is just so stupid. So let's get into some gameplay and see what the vehicle can do now. Alrighty, here we are on Mayan Ruins. This is an alright map. I'm not going to say it's my favorite, but I don't mind Mayan Ruins, especially with that leopard pushing there. That's a really bad spot early game, because I can just maneuver my tank fairly aggressively up here. And bonk, there you go, 487 damage shell into the leopard. People don't realize how fast this tank is, and because of that, they don't think you can get to aggressive spots this fast, but you can. I mean, already we've been able to deal a pretty decent chunk of damage, and our opponents don't even know what to do against us. We got the TNH in front, and now that he bounced us, I'm just going to drive on up, and bonk, there you go. That was a bad roll, but a pen's a pen. We can see that 183 is in the back, and let's see if we can bonk that 183 possibly. Aiming. There you go. 514 damage shot. I'm actually surprised that hit where I wanted it to, because normally with my RNG that's not the case. Got the leopard in the back, you got the E100 right in front. E100 misses. Leopard might not. Yeah, I'm actually very bamboozled on how the leopard penned us and tracked us, but oh well. Just going to drive up here. Now the leopard can't do anything to us. Got the 100, and there you go. Couldn't have done that with the premium AP previous update. Okay, well, we're up to 2,600 damage right now, which is good. We're getting out pretty big bonks. Let's see if we can get that AMX. He's showing me his flat side, and there you go. 612 damage HE. Not bad. We're going to reload again. The major vehicle I'm worried about right now is... Oh, wait a sec. Is that 50B going to show me his tank? Come on, pull up. There you go. Nice 485 into his vehicle. Alright, I mean, we're getting out bonks, but our team is also bleeding a lot of health that they shouldn't be right now. That 183 is still chilling back there. So I'm going to poke the 183 and bonk. There you go. Nice shell. We do get hit by the leopard, but the leopard gets shot. So not really my problem. Oh man, but this team's making it my problem. Let's see. That leopard's going to die, so I'm not worried about him. Our minnow is also in a bad situation, though. Is the 183 still there? No, it doesn't look like he is. Okay. So we're going to maneuver our way on up here. And bonk. Nice. Okay. This is definitely a win at this point. We have too much HP. Even if the 183 were to nuke us, it just wouldn't matter, in my opinion. We're going to load a heat shell right into his turret. Then we back up. And, wow, 850 max roll. It's still so dumb that the E100 can roll 850 with a max. But hey, we were able to win this battle, and we got a very solid result out in the process. How much damage did we deal? 4,700. We blocked only 400, but the fact that we were able to use our mobility to so quickly get into our front line there, bonk that leopard before the dude could even react, then bonk the 50B, use the HE as well. I personally think the AMX M4 is an incredibly underrated vehicle. Does it have weaknesses? Yes, but every single tank has weaknesses in the game. Even a vehicle like the TVP, which is still quite busted, has very weak armor, its clip can mess up. Every vehicle in the game is going to have some sort of weakness. I really like this tank. I think that it's fantastic, and if it's sitting in your garage, I'd definitely recommend to pull it out and try it a bit. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.